Hey, fans of the Monday Movie Club. This week, Amy chose Innerspace from 1987, which is number 3,825 on the Franken list. Aim, is this another nostalgia pick?
I think so, even though I only have three memories of the entire movie, but I
Three
see it.
memories.
Yeah,
Three.
yeah,
Seeing Dennis Quaid's butt.
yeah. And just
That's
fucking
a,
falling in love with him.
that's all
The
I got.
centrifugal force thing spinning, and Dennis Quaid floating around in somebody's body. I had no idea who.
That's funny.
Yeah, I had no idea who till I watched it as well. And I was like, oh my God, Martin Short. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Frank Gaffney. Dick Miller. I don't Dick Miller is a character actor
Yes,
who
who
you look
always
nothing like.
who I knew I know, but I'm honoring him
Was
today.
he the taxi driver?
It's a Joe
Yeah,
Dante film.
I
He
know
is
this
in
guy.
he's in every Joe Dante film. So
Right. I remember him in Goonies for sure. Yeah.
Wait a
yes,
minute. Wasn't he the
he's
cop?
not in
Wasn't
the
he?
Goonies, and Joe Dante
Gremlins.
didn't direct the
Gremlins.
Goonies.
Wait a
Gremlins.
minute.
Gremlins.
Wasn't he in Silence of the Lambs?
Dick Miller, he might have made
Was he the cop?
he might have been a cop because Silence of the Lambs, Jonathan Demme, all those people worked with Roger Corman at one point. So, and he's in the movie. Um, uh,
He's from the Corman
yeah,
When it wasn't he the one that
stable,
got
as it
his
were.
face bit off?
Stable, yeah.
no, that was not Dick. That's not Dick Miller.
Okay, looks like him.
No,
All right. So, okay. So,
Okay,
Joel, Wotitz Gartner has the picture up. I'm not
cheers.
surprised. Goldfoot and Cringer.
no
Look how
Cringer.
beautiful he is today.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's
He's
there,
beautiful
but not
every day.
labeled.
He's what? Oh, I don't have his name up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey.
No billing.
Insulting.
Well, now
And
he's pissed.
I'm out of here.
that was it. Oh, he's messing your hair. And Andy King, who's back in the dining room.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be in the kitchen where you belong.
Well, it's just on the other side,
Oh, I see.
but this
I did
side
not.
has a chair that sits
I
back.
did not get that vantage. I didn't know it was just on the other side, but that makes sense that it's the same color then. I
Yes.
thought it was a completely separate room. I'm like, oh, damn, girl, don't be using all the paint.
No,
But it's one
I'm on
room. It
a
makes sense.
peninsula.
It makes perfect sense. And you're not standing and cooking or cutting or anything. You're
Yeah,
actually full 100% attention today.
Well, she's still
that's
getting over her vacation.
Okay.
and I have
Well,
great
here,
color. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, here's the plot. A scientifically miniaturized Marine, played by Dennis Quaid, unexpectedly finds himself floating around the body of a hypochondriac, Martin Short, and trying to outwit saboteurs, ridiculous saboteurs, who want the device that shrank him. That's the plot. I didn't write any notes except some observations while I was watching it. Quite frankly, I would leave Dennis Quaid too. He's an ass. I just couldn't get past his arrogant, macho, cocky bullshit. Big no for me. But he has a great ass. And the whole thing was very 1980s. And Martin Short, again, I totally forgot he was in it. He was cute and so young. And then there was that scene with his fellow alumni from SCTV, Joe Flaherty and Andrew. I wrote Andrew.
Andrea Garman.
I wrote McCardle, actually. Andrew Martin. Lots of very familiar faces, like Dick Miller, of course. Talking to his penis was cute. That actually made me smile.
I have a note on that. Yeah.
I didn't even take any other notes. It was all too ridiculous for me and too 1980s. Did Dennis Quaid's character learn anything? Was he changed by the experience? I didn't see that.
Yes. Look above me.
Yeah, I don't get it. And empowering Martin Short's character seemed like such a hollow victory. Again, like Mark loves, the little guy has to beat up the bad guys. And all the bad guys were ridiculous. And maybe they were going for that, trying to be a little satirical, whatever.
I
This
did.
is
Did you not appreciate Vernon Wells not saying one word the entire time?
it was a little painful for me. 2.5 stars. It was on, but seriously, the last 30 minutes, I was ironing my socks. I was so bored. Didn't
Wow.
appreciate,
Opposite. Wow.
didn't appreciate it at all. All right, so give us the opposite view. Now you can start with Frank, you ignorant slut.
Frank, you ignorant slut. Before I get to my notes, which I wrote in order of the movie, I will say that I actually appreciated that a 1980s PG-13, I think, movie, PG or PG-13 movie. Um, Usually that would show some TNA, which was ridiculous for 1980s.
Where's my
PG?
PG?
Yeah, PG. It actually had a guy's butt as opposed to a woman's butt for once, so good for the ladies.
Did they
Good for
have PG-13 in 87? Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes,
84 was
just
Temple
about.
of
Yeah.
Doom, which is when it spurred the moment. So by 1985, I believe, there were PG-13s.
Yeah, Red Dawn, I think, was the first PG-13 movie.
Really?
I
Okay.
think so.
That will be on the trivia quiz next week.
Okay, I did see it once when I was on, as Joel sent it for the viewer, one viewer at home. Joel sent us a little trivia on it, and it did not do that well in the box office, but it did do very well on home video, and that's where I saw it in my buddy's basement, where we used to watch all the movies. And I didn't remember any of this movie at all, other than the poster. I remember the poster with that in his hand and everything, and Meg Ryan and Martin Short on the side. Um, I thought the girls kissing him as he was going to do the thing was so 80s and cheesy. The robotic arm too to start centrifuge was totally unnecessary, and but it was pretty advanced in 1987. But I did appreciate that they revisited it at the end, which was hilarious. That the guy just took the chip and put it in himself. Like that's what I was like. I was screaming at the screen when he was doing it. I was like, why is this taking 24 minutes to do? It could have just been doop. Um, Martin Short was very funny with his eye when Dennis Quaid first inhabited him, and overall his physical comedy as well helped the movie. As Frank mentioned, play with a pal, but don't talk to it in the bathroom scene was funny. Um, Kevin McCarthy joining Martin Short in the frozen truck with no henchmen with him or following him was the most unbelievable part of the entire movie. The scientific part, I believed. That I did not. That was so stupid. Um,
Scientific part, he believes.
and I'll get back to that in a second too, Frank. I thought the baby inside of Meg Ryan, the special effects on that was actually pretty damn good for 1987. I thought that was very nice. Um, how can Tuck fall out of a mouth from kissing if he's attached to an ear? That was bad, and that's what I wrote here. Everything else is scientifically factual, but
Mhm.
that ruined it for me. Um,
This,
unlike
this from
Frank,
the man who thinks Paddington is a real bear.
he should be stronger as a bear. I still stick by that. I'll stand by that to the day I die. Unlike Frank, I was not ironing my socks. I thought the finale was very gripping. I was getting anxious when he almost ran out of air. Was he going to make it? Who knows?
Please,
Um,
Mary.
and I want to know when is the sequel coming out because I need to find out if Martin Short catches up with Cowboy. You don't know what happens, and that was very. I was let down by that.
Yeah,
As,
I stayed up all night wondering.
Thank you. Me too. 3.25 stars to me. If I gave The Parent Trap 3 stars, I had to give this 3.25. This was good 80s fare, not great, not my favorite. I don't remember any of it, but it was fun. It was fun.
I did see it when it first came out. I'm
But
pretty
apparently you
sure
don't
I
care.
went to the movie there. I probably thought it was adorable then, not
Yeah.
so much now. Annie, did you see it in 1987?
No, I did not. Can't remember why. It's right up my alley. That's definitely the kind of movie I would have gone to see. I love Dennis Quaid, Meg Ryan, but I don't recall ever seeing this movie.
Hmm.
So it was a first for me, and I thought it was just a little too long. There were some scenes I'm like, okay, move along. Um, Danny actually noticed that the license plate on the guy, the bad guy, his license plate said snap on. I didn't notice it, but it was cute.
It does
Yeah,
say
it did.
that.
Um,
It did say snap-on, but what did that mean? What did I miss
but
there?
his
Because he had
arm,
an arm, he could interchangeable.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, it was a little cheesy. I thought it was a little too long.
That's what
I
she
like
said.
the I like the flip the whole face transformation thing. That was funny. That was like with all his face things. But otherwise, I think I would have loved it more if I had seen it in 1987. So seeing it
Sure.
this week, I was like, so I would give it 2.75, but I'd go with the 3 just because I think I would have liked it a lot more in 1987.
So 3 is your official star rating?
Yeah.
No, I'm not putting that down.
All right.
Joel,
Yes, Frank.
Joel, you saw it in 1987. Of course you did.
Yes, I did.
I just thought Meg Ryan was so slight in this movie. I'm like,
Yeah, I
really?
didn't like her.
She
It
was a
wasn't
movie
Meg
star?
Ryan yet.
Yeah, she wasn't
Ooh.
Meg Ryan yet.
She was a movie star?
No, not yet.
Is
Yeah.
this her first film?
No, but it
no,
was
It's
it was
early.
probably her
No,
first
hello. She was
lead.
Goose's wife 1 year
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
in
but this
Top
was
Gun.
probably her first lead role.
Yeah.
And she wasn't, I don't think she was their first choice either. I think there were like a bazillion other actresses that they were trying to get before they.
Oh, believe me, a billion other actresses could have done the same job.
Wow.
The movie was actually originally written for Arnold Schwarzenegger and Michael J. Fox.
Now that I would have watched.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
I shouldn't say it was written for. It was written for other reasons, but
Written with, but they were the first.
they were the
choice.
first people when I forget who was tagged as
You're gonna run out of air.
Yeah. I forget who was tagged as the director at that point, but the whole project obviously fell apart, and Joe Dante came back to the film after Jeffrey Boehm rewrote it.
Can I rewrite it? I'd like to rewrite it.
Sure. I'm a big Joe Dante fan. I
know,
love
Joe.
almost all of his stuff, and this, quite honestly, is at the lower end of the spectrum for me. It's
Yeah, Joe Dante almost broke up this group.
right.
Oh, wait. Right. That was the
Yeah. Damn him.
Go ahead.
That
What was the name of the movie? Remind everybody.
John Goodman.
Yeah,
Was it?
not the name of the
No,
movie.
was it not? Was it Matinee?
It was Matinee. Yeah.
Matinee. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hi, Poppy. Hi,
Oh, hi, Abby.
While this was a
My-
box office success, it was definitely. I think it's definitely his most mainstream Hollywood film after Gremlins, and even that, as much of a success that as of a success as that was, I think that Gremlins kind of falls outside various
Aw.
genres and such. So the movie is too long, by at least 20 minutes, if not more. As much as I love seeing Kevin McCarthy playing a villain of this sort, he does it better in UHF than he does it here.
Yes.
And in almost any other Joe Dante film that he's in where he's playing the villain, he does it better there as well.
He always plays an asshole. I always know him as, hey, he's the asshole in the movie.
Not always, but in the 80s, yes. At that point, he was mostly playing assholes.
Yes.
He's most famous for, obviously, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's
Right.
the film that really cemented him. So anyway, it's as I said, it's fun to see some of the other people. Robert Picardo's worked with Joe Dante a number of times. And
How great was Robert Picardo? I couldn't even believe that was him.
he was
Loved
great.
him.
I love there's that brilliant shot where he's Martin Short has turned into the cowboy and he comes out of the bathroom and he has to walk around the camera while he's talking and go back into the bathroom because it's all one shot where he has to change out of all that clothing to get back into the bathtub to play the tied up version of himself.
Ah,
And they had to change wigs. There was a panel in the wall where the makeup artist would take one wig off, put the other wig on, and they'd seal her up. And brilliant shot,
Yeah.
really well done.
Yeah.
You don't get practical effects like that anymore.
yeah.
Oh, that was really all done in one shot?
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yep. All one shot.
So you're saying that wasn't Martin Short then?
Yeah. Like Mark, I also loved the special effects of the changes with the face and or was Annie said that?
Annie said that. I said it about his eyes started going in the beginning and
Um,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, it's great to see practical effects like that. That still, I mean, there's obviously some, matting in of other heads and stuff, but it's
And we sped up and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we just watched the original Beetlejuice,
uh-huh.
and when Alec Baldwin pulls his face out to make the
Yes,
thing, it's such a model. It looks so ridiculous. I'm like, oh goodness. But yeah, that
but
was
and they used lots of especially once Kevin McCarthy and Fiona Shaw have been shrunk in half for
she was
this.
terrible. I hated her.
Well, she retired from acting after this.
She
So
should have.
Because she was tiny.
yeah, but they did some. There was a lot of forced perspective, work for that stuff, which is always kind of fun to see. As Frank said, Meg Ryan's character is just kind of slight. There's really nothing to the character. Dennis Quaid is very much an
Asshole.
asshole, and I've never really been invested in him. Watching the film, I'm always more invested in Martin Short pulling off stuff. It's very
Wait,
much
how many times have you seen this then?
it's a Joe Dante film, so I've seen it more than at least 3 times. So
Okay.
More than anyone has a right to.
exactly. Um,
Not more than Joe Dante, I'm sure.
I think the description that Joe Dante used when he got the script would have been a better film, because the concept was essentially, the way he described it was, imagine if somebody shrunk Dean Martin down and injected them into Jerry Lewis.
Oh my God.
Now that I
That
would
I would
see.
pay to
Exactly.
see.
That would have been a fun film. And
Oh my God.
if you look at the rest of Joe Dante's stuff, that kind of lends itself more to that, because his stuff, he gets very, I know Amy hates slapstick, but there's a lot of cartoonishness and slapstick and dark comedy that runs through his stuff, and this is missing the edges of that a lot, whereas some of his other films, I think benefit from that. So
Yeah, from the darker comedy, yeah. I would say, yeah, I
so
agree. I didn't know that's what it was missing, but
yeah,
I
that's,
could see where that would have been a little.
well, if you think about, some of his other
This was
stuff.
just all too slapsticky for me.
Yeah, you think, look at
Very
the Gremlins
childish.
films or The Burbs or even The Howling, there, and Piranha. There are, dark comedy undercurrents of all of that. So, I'm gonna give it 2.75.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of where it lives for me. As I said, it's a
Amy, I'm the only
dollar.
one who loved it.
I know. And I'm surprised.
It's 80s.
You surprised that he loved it,
Yeah.
or that the rest of us didn't?
Well,
2.75
no,
is
yeah.
not a bad review. It's worth watching if
All
you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, speaking of assholes, Aim, what did you think?
The oh, it was a lot better looking at Cringer than this mop of hair. Here are my notes, but I have to start with the one because you all commented on that. It was a little too long. And for a viewing person, the video that we saw, the DVD that we saw had a jump in it. It was all warped and it skipped. And I looked it up. Our movie ran an hour 47, and the real movie ran an hour 59. So we lost 12 minutes of a movie that we thought was too long. 12 minutes. There's a
Wow.
whole scene apparently that they went to the lab, and that's when he was told he was going to run out of oxygen at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I was going
We
to say
never
they
saw
never
any of
they
that.
didn't mention it to the end.
No,
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I didn't see the DVD. I just rented it, so I
Yeah.
saw that
You
You
part.
got
had
to stop
cheated.
moaning
You had
around the
cheated.
same defective movie.
Right, right. Yeah,
I'll
12
have I'll
minutes
have
or
to
no.
delete that.
12
Yeah.
minutes. Let's see what I wrote. I wrote,
And
first of all,
there was 12 minutes missing, and I still thought it was too long.
exactly my point.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yes, and
Um,
those 12 minutes were definitely not so
Because here's the thing.
interesting.
It has nothing to do with length. It has to do with pacing. Even
Not
missing
all,
12
not
Exactly what it
yeah,
minutes
has to
is
do
I
with
badly
agree.
paced. Yeah.
no, and of course.
Gone with the Wind is almost 4 hours long, and
No,
to
it's
me
too
it
long.
doesn't feel long.
Too long.
To
No,
me,
I
hello,
saw
to
it once.
me,
Too long.
no, it's fabulous.
to me, it doesn't feel long. But this, yeah, it's pacing for sure.
I did realize earlier in the week, I only watched the movie yesterday, that, oh my God, inner space, like outer space. I never put those two together.
The name tech and Joe Dante and the writers they all hated the name, but they couldn't come up with anything better. But
Yeah.
it refers back to Fantastic Voyage from the 60s. They mention both inner space and outer space in a couple of
Oh,
lines of dialogue. So
got it. It seems like in 1987, Joe Dante was very excited and impressed with his production designer or whoever did it when creating all of the electronics that we had so much so that we had to be very impressed for a very long time. Of, like you said, the arm, everything, the robotics. And I'm like, okay, we get it. You got all this cool equipment. Move on.
Well, I'm sure it was, yeah, like you said,
Yeah,
much more impressive
the
in
nine
1987.
exactly. Why
They were
is
like,
every
look at me, look at
yeah,
me.
look at
I
me.
actually I said to Danielle, I said I didn't realize that they had arms that could do that in 1987. That was actually it was impressive, but holy crap, it just took too long. It was
Yeah.
unneeded. Yeah.
but one of the things I like about that is the contrast between the lab where they actually built it and then the villain's lab, because the lab where they actually built it was based on actual labs where it's
It
like
looked like one, yeah.
cobble together old equipment
Yep.
to put
Yeah.
things together. They
Yeah.
still do that,
Yeah.
whereas the villain's lab was all this, sleek and
Press the green button.
it was an Apple store,
Yeah.
That was Amy giving props to the production
Yeah.
design.
Yeah. Why is every person in this movie a bumbling, stupid, and annoying idiot? Amazing how Quaid's ship, for lack of a better word, whatever the hell he was in, the technology was programmed to know how to move around a rabbit's body, and it can easily understand now how to move around a human's body. There was just a lot of that whole Paddington shit for me
And
going
and
on.
where did he get the chicken nuggets from? That's what I want to know. At some point, Dennis Quaid is eating chicken nuggets inside the thing.
Oh, God.
They packed him snacks. They knew he'd
Yeah.
And a microwave? And a tiny microwave?
Yeah, why
They were
not?
cooked. You eat them
Well,
cold.
no, for him,
Yeah.
the microwave is normal sized.
Yeah.
It just got shrunk down.
Yeah, everything got shrunk.
The pod was obviously based on the one the kids used in Explorers. So, it's going to have all that stuff in it.
Yeah, I got
Including
nothing
the
on
miniature
that.
outlets that are
No,
attached to
it's
no
like
energy source? No energy source? You can't
it's
heat up.
like it's like one of those comedies, one of those Marvel movies. You just have to accept it.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
like it's amazing how Tuck can only see outside of Jack when he's in his optic nerve and can only hear when he's in his ear. But then throughout the rest of the movie, he can hear and see everything at the same time.
And when he gets transferred back into Martin Short's mouth, he immediately is talking in his ear within 3 seconds, which
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
no
yeah.
sense. He was not back in his ear.
So when he attached initially to both the eye and the ear, he left those probes, so it's all Bluetooth.
oh yeah,
Not in 1987, Joel.
It's an early version of Bluetooth.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Next
I just knew, like, as soon as he kissed her, I was like, oh, he just got transferred.
Danielle
It's
said
like,
that too. I didn't
yeah.
catch that until
Speaking of kissing, when she just started making out with him, when she found out that Tuck was inside him, like he was all of a sudden, this was really him. It was just ridiculous to me. Of course, we got to have the girl making out with the guy now.
And of course, you have to remember, it was Martin Short. It wasn't like she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's so gorgeous. I'm gonna kiss him right now."
But Amy, when Martin Short then loudly says, "Go away, disconnect everything. I'm going to kiss your girlfriend as myself," and she's still into it. I was like, "What?
Yeah,
That
come
makes
on.
no sense."
Yeah. And all Jack had to do the whole fucking time was sneeze Tuck out of him. And then I just typed while you guys are all talking the whole face changing stuff what I'm talking about in the mirror when his face changed. I hated it because to me that was just slapsticky. Like, oh God,
It was a little silly.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I love this movie,
In 1987,
and thank you very much.
Yeah.
Last night I was like thinking back to when Frank watched it earlier this week. I hadn't seen it yet. And all he wrote was Innerspace, oi, something like that. And I just
Yeah.
thought, that's all I
That's
was
what I
thinking while I was watching this
Right.
movie. I will give it an extra quarter star for the nostalgia because I assume I again saw it a million times, but I have no memory of it, which is weird. Maybe I didn't love it as much as I thought I did, but I had to. So the extra quarter star will bring me all the way up to 2.25 stars.
Ooh.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I
Wow,
thought I
good
was, I
movie.
thought I was
would
being
love a
tortured.
score.
I thought I was being tortured, and I was just about to say because I thought you were going to go 2.75. I'm like, well, with my
Yeah.
2.5 and Mark's 3.25, that makes it an even 2.75. But now,
When you said 2.5, I was like, wow. And I think, Mark, you were about to say, I'm thinking this is the lowest score anybody gave their own movie.
I think you're right. It's got to be
But yeah,
Like, I
no.
do not have to see this movie ever again. Oy.
Yes, that for me, 2.5. I watched it. It was fine. I hated parts of it for sure. I don't ever need to see it again, but it's not horrible.
Steven Spielberg, you animals. It was good-ish.
All he did was produce it.
Yeah.
He presented it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means nothing.
That's even less than producing.
Yeah. That's like, let me put my name on the movie and hopefully people will go see
That's
it.
what he did in the 80s. It was a thing.
Yeah, because he had a production company.
He still
I
does.
am really glad I made us watch it because now it is gone from here to here.
Maybe you should have just kept your memories of it.
Maybe.
Too late now.
Yeah,
And
too
I'm doing
late
the same
now.
thing with Enemy Mine in a couple months.
I fucking remember loving that movie too.
Me too. So
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see. Maybe I'm going to give that 2.25. Who knows?
Yeah.
And it was a Fox movie when I was at Fox. So I
Oh.
definitely have seen it. Okay, where to watch? Innerspace is not available on the usual subscription streaming services, but you can watch the 12-minute edited version. Just let me know. You can rent it for $3.99 from Prime, which is what Annie did. This movie club costs you money every week, Annie.
Yeah.
You're all
advocate,
worth it. You're all
And
worth
he's got to get a side job now just to keep up.
yeah,
Yeah.
just to pay for the weekly movie. But as always, I advocate borrowing DVDs from the library for free, which is what I did. But I didn't even check the running time. That's how much I cared. Next week, Torture Part 67. Mark is making us watch Ninja Assassin
You're
from
welcome.
2009. It's
I'm
available.
excited.
It's
Yes.
available on Max. I assume nobody's seen it except for Mark.
I have not seen it, but it's been on my list because J. Michael Straczynski was involved. So
I know
of
you love him.
course.
yes,
J. Michael Straczynski.
exactly,
AMS.
Babylon 5.
exactly. Thank you for everything, Frank.
And again, you can rent it from Prime, whatever, or go to the library. That's what I'm saying. That's it. I'm Frank Gaffney. Go watch a movie.
And also with you.